Hey guys, FunnyGuyTimmy here for a really long video this time. I'm gonna hope it's not gonna be too long, but this one, I wanted to put together a series of shorter explainer or question and answering videos, and then I also wanted to do some longer form videos, and that's gonna be this one. This one's gonna be a little bit longer. I've been asked a lot, where do I find voiceover work? And there are a lot of places to find work. Some of these are going to be controversial. Some of these are going to be ones that professionals, including myself, really do not like and wish would go away. And then others are going to be a little bit more on the mainstream, a little bit more professional, and then some are going to be obscure. Most of these are not going to be in any particular order because that would just be way too much time. So the first one to know about, it's not really a website, but it is... they do have websites. It's agencies, voiceover agencies, voice managers, stuff like that. Any professional voice actor has agents. They work for voice agencies, and they have websites. And there are thousands of those. Not all of them are all that good. I don't personally work for any agents or managers as far as voice acting goes. I have an agent for acting, and I think he's sent me 3 voiceover auditions. So the reason that I don't really consider these as like where to find voiceover work, especially for anyone who's starting out or who's in the middle range, they're not professional, they're not amateur, they're more like me where they're like transitioning. Agents send people auditions to the ones that they think are going to get them the money, the ones that are going to land the job, and the ones that are going to make them a profit. An agent or a manager, they get paid when you get paid. So their job is to find you work so that they can take a cut, which is normally like 15 or 20%, depending on the agency or agent. Managers are a little bit more one-on-one with their talent than agents are. Agents they have a whole bunch of talent beneath them, and they will just send emails and contacts to whoever they think fits the audition description. And then, again, it's the same thing. But a manager works with you one-on-one. Their goal is to actually pitch you to studios. So if you have a voiceover manager, you don't need any of these websites for the most part. However, a lot of even professionals say that they don't get a lot of work through agents or agencies. Most of their work will, once you reach that top tier of voice actors, most of your work is going to come through a manager or direct contact. Basically it. So there's that one. The next one is, of course, the one that everyone hates, is Fiverr. Well, not everyone. There are some. There's going to be some on this list that I'm going to say are worse than Fiverr. I literally mean that, and I will explain. Okay, so Fiverr is one that started out where people could offer services for $5. And Fiverr very much discouraged anyone charging more than $5. It was kind of their thing. You could only charge $5, and people could only buy stuff for $5. And then they would take a cut. But since then, they've actually made it where talent can actually charge their fees. They can actually charge something more personal. They get to negotiate with the client. And it used to not be that way. And most of the hate for Fiverr started out back when it was just $5. And a lot of people who started out on Fiverr had no skill whatsoever, no talent in voice acting. And I mean that. They had no skill or talent in voice acting. And it really drove the website down in credibility. It still has not gained really all that much in credibility, but due to the fact that this website does now give you the opportunity to negotiate fees, you can actually be on this website and negotiate real, genuine, fair voiceover industry fees. to which I do way more than I used to when I first started. I was one of those people that had no talent when I first started. It was a long time ago. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. I had no talent in voiceover. And then I sought coaching, and I watched as much as I could, and classes and stuff like that. And I slowly, over time, built up to where I am now. I still don't think I'm all that good. But so now you can negotiate real fees. You can negotiate genuine voiceover fees. And the problem with this site still is that a lot of people don't. A lot of people are still offering mediocre talent for the cheapest fees. And it's why it's done a lot of damage to the industry, and a lot of people don't like Fiverr. So, moving forward, as fast as I can, I ramble too much on Fiverr. There's VoiceBunny.com. VoiceBunny.com is very unique in the sense that they actually pay you to audition. I had never heard of this before. They pay you to audition. It's a database website where a client comes, they post a gig. This is what I'm looking for. This is, I'm looking for an American accent, male, sounds 20 to 35. This is what I'm looking for. This is the dialogue. And if you audition, you get paid. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. And then if you land the gig, you, of course, get paid more. There are some rules and some guidelines. They have a very specific requirement as far as files you upload. I think it's like it has to be WAV, and it has to be a particular kilohertz or something like that, 16-bit, stuff like that. So it's a little... They have a structure, a very neat structure that is kind of frustrating at first because I kept wondering what was going wrong. And if you don't respond to enough auditions, they will actually pause your profile, so no one can even find you. And until you go back and say, yes, I'm available, I can audition and stuff like that. So they're unique in that sense. And other than that, it's very typical it's very similar to most other voiceover databases, like Voices.com and Voice123, which are the next ones on my list. Voices.com, I actually like Voices.com personally because I've actually landed more gigs on Voices.com than Voice123. Voice123, for me, seems to be more in the direction of commercial work. I've landed... The only gigs I've ever landed on Voice123 has been commercial work. The only voiceover gigs that I've landed on Voices.com has been character work. And I've auditioned for thousands on Voices.com, both of them. But now, if I go to Voices.com, I'm only going to be auditioning for character work. I'm not even going to bother with any of the other stuff. Just for some reason, they never accept me. They don't even thumbs me up. Like, I don't even get... You can actually see when they have viewed or listened to your audition, and you can tell if they like it or what. And when I do commercial work, I don't get any of that. But when I do character work, I always get at least a thumbs up. I at least get a listen. But when I go to Voice123, actually with Voice123, I haven't auditioned that much. I think people have just contacted me out of the blue to do a gig. Now, one thing that I do like about these websites is you do get to negotiate, again, you do get to negotiate your fees. However, the client puts a cap on, what their budget is. And they're like, yeah, we'll only do from this to this, which isn't fair as far as I'm concerned, because I don't really think... Most clients don't know what voiceover is actually worth. And so they'll be, I only want to pay 100. And it's like 2,000 word script. And they want it in 24 hours. So they have no idea what it actually takes to do voiceover. And it's for the voice actor to negotiate. It's the same thing if you were to find a plumber or need a mechanic. You have no idea. Since you're not in that business, you can't tell them what you're going to pay them. That's not how that works. They look at it, they give you a quote, and you can either accept it or go to somebody else. That's what it's for. And so any website where you actually get to negotiate your fees and they don't put a cap on your fees are the ones that I think that you should steer more towards, with hopes that we can all get the voiceover industry back on track. Bidalgo is another one that's very similar to Voices.com and Voice123. I don't think I've ever been on Bidalgo, but just like Voice.com, Voice123, you create a profile, you upload a photo, demo, information, and then you audition. So it's very similar to that. Some people, I have heard from a lot of people that they like Bidalgo more than Voices and Voice123, but I have no experience on the website. So, and then there's websites that I don't really like because they often put a cap on how much you can charge, and that's websites like VoiceRealm.com, TheVoiceCrew.com, VoiceOverTalent.com, Voice Jockeys, and other sites like that, where these ones are, you don't audition on these. It is one thing that I actually kind of like, that you don't really audition on these websites. You put up a profile, just like any of the others. You put up your picture, your description, your demos, your bio, so fill out some information, and then what the client does is they go to the website. Instead of posting an audition, they go and they type in, I'm looking for, male or female or whatever, for this age range, this accent, and then it'll give them a list of voice actors, and they can listen to the demo and say, okay, this person is very similar to what I had in mind, and so they will contact you that way. So it's not really auditioning, it's more of they reach out to you. You're in a database, and it's good and it's bad. Since you're not auditioning, you don't really get to make the first step. You don't even get to decide whether you even want to take on the job. I'll give you a great example. Voice Jockeys is probably my least favorite in this list. Every single time, I created a profile a long time ago when I started voice acting. When I started voice acting, I just searched and Googled voiceover and voiceover websites, and I created a profile on like every single one of them, and which was good for you guys because I get to tell you what I do and do not like. But it's bad for me because it has been, some of it's been a waste of my time. And Voice Jockeys is one of those. Voice Jockeys, the client will look at your profile and they will go, okay, I like you. Here's the job. This is how much I'm paying you. And I don't get to negotiate the gig. There was one not too long ago where the client wanted me to do a 200-word commercial radio spot read, I believe, and they only wanted to pay $50. And I had already landed the gig. And I had to contact them going, I'm not doing that. That's way too little. That's not worth my time. That's not even a third of the industry price as for that, role. And it wasn't even like a local radio. Like it was a pretty, I looked it up. It was a pretty high-end radio. I don't remember what it was, but it was definitely not fair rates. And I had to contact them, and I told Voice Jockeys, and I was like, I need the ability to negotiate. I have to have the ability to negotiate on this website. I can't just, accept whatever comes my way. It needs to be fair for me as well as the client. And it can't just be 100% on them because they'll just want stuff for free. Who doesn't? So, and Voice Realm and the Voice Crew are very similar to that. I haven't had as many issues that severe on the Voice Realm and the Voice Crew, but as far as Voice Jockeys, it's incredibly painful, and they market 2 clients that, you can find work for under this amount. There's been tons of people look it up. Tons of voice actors talk about it, and it's painful. It's one of the websites that I think is doing some of the most damage. But yeah. But if we can get that website and all the voice actors on it to get on track and to move forward in a more healthy direction, and for everyone to be on the level, I think it could be profitable. It could be good for the industry, but right now it's kind of a bummer. Okay, so there's also other websites like directvoices.com, which, if I remember correctly, is intended for dubbing or translation. Let's say someone did a commercial for in Spanish, and they wanted to find someone in English, or vice versa, and they wanted someone to translate it, basically not really match the voice, but match the style, match the other voice actor, but in a new language. That's, from what I've understood of direct voice, that seems to be where they're going. That and like phone messaging system seems to be where they lean mostly towards. I haven't landed any gigs on that one, and I'm kind of glad I don't really do any translation. I speak one language. That is it. Again, all the links to these websites will be down in the description. If you're a professional and you want to watch them burn and you want to sue them, go for it. If you're an up-and-comer and you want to maybe get into these websites, okay. But heed my words, please. Now, for the obscure ones. These are going to be the fun ones. So we have Facebook and Twitter, as well as most of the other social media websites like Instagram and, sites like that, where it's intended for reaching out socially. I've actually gotten a good bit of work off Facebook. There's been quite a few people contact me through my Facebook page, both my personal people that I'm friends with, that, hey, I'm you're a voice actor, I need voice acting, what do you got? And then there's been people that have contacted me through my FunnyGuyTimmy Facebook page, looking for someone to do voice acting. And again, the reason that I like this is because I get to negotiate my fees. I get to offer them, this is what I'll do, and I'll often itemize it. I'll explain, why it costs all that much. There's been quite a few clients that have actually appreciated, when I've given them extra information instead of just, this is how much, that's it, that's my fee. I've explained it, and I'll explain to them how long it's going to take me, about how long it's going to take me, everything that I'm going to do to the audio, including compression and EQing, to make sure that it's basically broadcast ready to go for them, so they don't really have to do anything. Also normalize it to, I'll give them all that information so they know what they're getting, so they know why they're paying what they'd be paying. And every single time that I've done that using Facebook, they've appreciated it. So I strongly recommend having a business profile, a business Facebook page for your voice acting. Also do random updates on there showing, if you get a new mic, or if you got a new demo or a new headshot, stuff like that. Show that off, show people. So when they search voice actors or voiceover on Facebook, they will find some of your stuff eventually. Same thing with Twitter, keeping people updated and up to date. Some people do the same thing on Facebook or do the same thing on Twitter as they do on Facebook. They'll search voiceover, and you can do that. I know quite a few people that have actually gotten work using Twitter as a business platform, which blows my mind. No one's actually contacted me through Twitter for voiceover work, but I do know some people who've actually done that and have made a good bit of money doing that. So I'm including it. Social media. Show people what you can do. Show people, what you have. And I think one of the reasons that this works is because nobody wants to work with a random faceless voice. Nobody wants to just work with just a shadowy figure. A lot of clients want to actually work with someone that they know at least a little bit about, that they know who they are, where they are, their past experiences, etc., and so forth. Nobody wants to work with just some drone or just some somebody that they can't even contact after the fact. Being reachable and approachable is actually incredibly valuable. So the next one is going to be YouTube. Again, surprisingly, there's been a couple people that have contacted me off YouTube for voiceover work. I post and share a lot of my actual gigs on my YouTube channel, so I use it like a resume. I don't just use it for helping you guys out. I also use it as a professional resume. I post my voiceover demos. I post my stand-up comedy bits. I post, my acting and my acting demos, and I share links and stuff like that. It, again, shows people who you are, what you can do, and, that you have been getting work and that you actually do, what you say you do. Instead of just saying, hey, I'm a voice actor, what do you have to prove for it? It shows people that you are who you say you are and you can do what you say you can do. So there's not really much there. Just post your demos, post your, share your links. If there's a gig that you've done, if there's a project you've worked on, and you can share that onto your page, again, it shows people that you have been doing what you say you've been doing. Now, the next one, again, I have no personal experience in this, but I do know some people who have done it. Craigslist. Craigslist is like the newspaper, to which none of you young people have any idea what that is, but it's like the help wanted section. Someone will say, hey, I'm looking for a voice actor. I'm looking for, someone to do this. This is the description. And then you can, again, contact them, negotiate your fees. It's way more obscure. I don't know how many people are still using Craigslist, considering there's so many apps out there for basically the same thing. But, again, I do know some people that have made money and gotten some reoccurring clients and reoccurring work using Craigslist. So it's very similar to the Facebook and the Twitter, except for the fact that you have to be proactive instead of the client being proactive. You have to be proactive searching for the work instead of the work finding you. But it is a way of contacting clients directly instead of going through a middleman like an agent or an agency or a website. You contact them directly. And then there is your website. This is one that almost every single voice actor will tell you they don't get a lot of work off their personal voiceover website. I don't even know why people still have them anymore. I haven't found anyone talk about how important a personal voiceover website is. Nowadays, people go to, one of these websites or go to agencies to search for voice actors. But your website is like is again like your YouTube. It's a resume. It shows people who you are, what you can do, and different ways of contacting you. My feeling on a personal website is have one. I know it's kind of a dying trend now, but I strongly suggest that you have a website. And reason being is the more places you put your name, your demo, your resume, the more chance that someone's going to find you. And your own personal website is one of those things. Also, I like to put my website, my voiceover website, on resumes and send that to people, send that to clients, rather than sending them my YouTube channel. Because there's a lot of stuff on here that they don't care for. There's going to be a lot of stuff like this, talking head, nobody is going to hire me because of. But if I send them my voiceover website, there's a greater chance that they're going to hire me based on that. And the last one. The last one is the most obscure and the one that I don't think anyone else is doing. I can't seem to find anybody talking about this. This has actually made me a little bit of money, but it's made me a little bit of money over a long period of time for a lot of work all at once. I did a lot of work all at once, took me almost an entire day, and then I didn't have to worry about it. And I stopped, and then money slowly came in. And it's not doing audiobook. I don't do audiobook. There is an Amazon audiobook website. Link to that will also be down in the description. But I'm not really going to talk about it because I don't really like it. I think it's boring, and it's a waste of a lot of voice actors' time. But the one that I do want to talk about is Game Dev Market. The Game Dev Market website is it's a place for buying assets for video games. Let's say you're an independent video game creator. You don't work for a studio. You're not really selling the product. You're just making it for yourself or making it for free, and you're posting it online. And you need something. You need, whether it's a skin, a 3D model, a special effect, a sound effects, coding, a script, or voice acting. You can go in, you can type in what it is you're looking for, and it'll bring up all these things that are for sale. And they all vary on prices. Again, you get to negotiate your price. What I did is I actually created these real-time strategy game packages. So it would be like I would have like a soldier, a random soldier, and I'd have a list of things that he would say. Pain screams, running, attack sounds, rallying sounds, all these things that you would hear in a real-time strategy game when you, like, one of the little characters, you select them and you send them off, one of the little troops, all the noises they would make. And then I would record multiple versions of that audio, and I would record multiple takes. And then, this is why it took me so long, and then I would actually cut down each take, the ones that I liked, after I did all the cleaning, all the EQing, all the compressing. I would save each take as an individual file. And so there would be hundreds of files in each of these zip folders that I would basically be selling. So I would have a zip folder that's all MP3, and I would have a zip folder that is all wave format in the same package that you're basically buying. And it would have a list of the kinds of sounds that you're going to find in the package. And it's also going to have like a 10-second demo, which is kind of like snippets of each one with a watermark under it. So no one can just take that and you know, use it. So it's got my watermark underneath, and they can listen to the demo, and then they can buy it if they like it. And so basically, I spent an entire day making this product and then posting it online, and then people will, over time, buy it if they like it. So I don't even got to worry about it anymore. I will slowly accumulate funds. I will slowly accumulate money. And there's other websites like this. But I also did something else. I also put a PDF in the package that also has my contact information, my phone number and my email. If they wanted to add to the voice, if they wanted more than what was in the package, they can contact me directly, and we can negotiate me adding to the files, me adding to the script, or me adding to the dialogue. And it's a way of, you know, number one, putting myself out there. Number two, you know, making money over time. And number three, having a lot of fun. It is actually a lot of fun to do, you know, those kind of game voices. It's a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling. So yeah, there's other websites like that, but that's the one that I can think of. Again, links to all these will be in the description. This was a very, very long video, and I do apologize if this droned on too long. But if you did learn something, if you do appreciate the information, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you'd like to see me do any other videos. Share it if you can, that'd be awesome. And until next time, peace!